First of all, let me pay my respect to Honorable, greeting to our teacher, and hello everyone who are watching this video. So we are from group Engage with Quarter, and our group consists of 4 members, which include Chiang Savan Penye, Hon Sopiratane, Hong Jiling, and Jiang Munitide. So we are going to cover the topics of problems with liquid waste management in Cambodia. This is our content. First of all, we are going to talk about the introduction of liquid waste management, the causes, effects, solution, and last but not least, we're going to talk about the recommendation and conclusion of this project. This is my part, and for my part, I'm going to discuss about the definitions of liquid waste, the definitions of liquid waste management, and why is it important to apply liquid waste management in Cambodia. So liquid waste refer to waste materials that appear in the form of liquid. It means that it includes wastewater, fats, oils or grease, used oil, liquid, solid, gases, or sludges, and hazardous household liquid. So liquid waste are divided or classified into 5 types, which are the first one is domestic sewage. It refers to the waste and products from a residential septic tanks. This type of waste is created by humans in houses, schools, and other buildings. The second one is domestic holding tank waste. It is the waste pumped from a sealed tank that doesn't have a drain field. The holding tank waste disposal process is similar to sewage disposal. And the third one is commercial wastewater. It includes waste from commercial practice and products such as portable toilets, restaurant grease trap, and commercial holding tanks. Commercial waste often include potential hazards such as flammable materials or a mixture of liquid and solid waste products, and require a more advanced and detailed disposal process. So moving on to the fourth one is industrial waste. Industrial waste is created from byproducts and runoff of industrial processes and production. It can include chemical and hazardous waste. This kind of waste cannot use the same sewage management, transportation, or processes as septic or commercial liquid. And the last one is runoff waste. It is the liquid waste that comes from runoff and excess stormwater in highly population areas or city. Next slide, please. So as we already know about the liquid waste, the definitions of liquid waste and the type of liquid waste, now I'm going to talk about liquid waste management. So liquid waste management is the proper disposal of liquid waste, and it is very important for maintaining the safety of the environment and production processes. But as you can see, the picture on the bottom on your left side, it shows the waterway in Cambodia. You can see the rubbish and the contaminated water. Well, it is because liquid waste management in Cambodia are still lacking in many ways. It shows the conditions which are polluted and contaminated by sewage as well. And we can manage the liquid waste effectively. If we can manage it effectively, then not only can our people live in a better environment, but it will also benefit our country in many ways, such as the economy industry, where numbers of business and tourism also depend on water resource. Moreover, it will help to reduce soil erosion, air pollution, the spread of disease, and the risk of ruining crops. for the farmer, and etc. So moving on to the causes, I would like to
thank you, Ratana, for giving me the chance to present all of you guys about the cause of poor liquid waste management. So, as previously mentioned, wastewater refers to the impure water that is unfit for human consumption, and there are two ways which are the wastewater come from. The first one is domestic use, and the second one is industrial use. For domestic use, this could come from residential or domestic sources. The common cause of wastewater are the liquid and sewer impurity that come from home, hospital, public toilet, hotel, resort, motel, school, religious institution, doctor, clinic, sports center, and apartment. Can be also product the domestic use water. And because in Cambodia urban area have limited domestic waste management infrastructure, and most domestic waste goes directly into the waterway as a point of discharge without treatment. This not only pollute the waterway with toxic and disease-laden septic water, but also add nutrients which foster low oxygen concentration through localized eutrophication. For the next one is industrial use. Just like the name, as evident from the name, this wastewater usually originates from the manufacturing or commercial unit. This water contains a heavy inflow of impurity like oil, silk, toxic chemical, ink, drug, pesticide, sand, and normal chemical that from the factory, and it may not be treated as conveniently as domestic wastewater. For instance, the untreated chemical water or the sewage coming from the factory will always be released into the water or the lake located nearby the factory that cause many problems to our health. And for the next part of the impact will be presented by.
Thank you, Julie, for your amazing presentation. And good evening, everyone. I am Tina, and I will continue on to talk about the effect of poor liquid waste management. As we already know that all the used water will eventually make it to a larger bodies of water, and those water are often treated before being discharged into a body of water. But in our country current situation, wastewater treatment methods are not enough to make it safe for disposing it to the environment. And since the liquid waste cannot easily be picked up and removed from the environment, it will cause many effects on different factors. So the first is the environmental degradation. So the liquid waste is easily spread out and pollute other sources of liquid if it brought into contact, which include the groundwater. And it also put the livelihood of those living in the area of water resources at risk, as well as a threat to the marine life due to the contamination. The second is it could cause a real health problem. People who are using and drinking the contaminated water that has been released to the body of water without proper treatment, as well as eating the animal and vegetable that have been soaked in those dirty liquid and plant on the contaminated soil, could cause sickness that include diarrhea, cholera, and more. The third point is that it could cause air pollution. Although air pollution is more commonly associated with dust, gas, and fine particle contamination, liquid waste can also be impact on the air quality. For example, the foul smell are common with liquid waste pollution, and particularly with sewage system. On to our last point is it will affect the beauty of the whole country, which could also impact and decrease the number of tourism in our country, since they will get a bad impression on our liquid waste management. This is the end of my part. Now let's move to our next presentation.
Thank you so much, Rita, for your fruitful presentation. So here comes to my part, which is solutions to manage liquid waste. There are some of the most effective methods or solutions that would keep our water in a safe environment. One of which is properly treat wastewater before releasing it to water bodies. There are several levels of wastewater treatment. These are primary, secondary, and tertiary levels of treatment. The primary level of treatment uses screens and septic tanks to remove the majority of solids. This step is extremely important because solids make up approximately 35% of the pollutants that must be removed. The screens usually have openings of about 10 mm, which is small enough to remove sticks, garbage, and other large materials from the wastewater. This material is removed and disposed of at the landfill. The water is then put into settling tanks or clarifiers, where it sits for several hours, allowing the sludge to settle and the scum to form on the top. The scum is then skimmed off the top, the sludge is removed from the bottom, and the partially treated wastewater moves on to the secondary treatment level. Secondary treatment of wastewater uses bacteria to digest the remaining pollutants. This is accomplished by forcefully mixing the wastewater with bacteria and oxygen. The oxygen helps the bacteria to digest the pollutants faster. The water is then taken to settling tanks, where the sludge again settles, leaving the water 90 to 95% free of pollutants. Tertiary or advanced treatment removes dissolved substances such as color, metals, organic chemicals, and nutrients like phosphorus and nitrogen. Coming to the second solution is educate the young and raise awareness to the old. As we all know, the young can be easily persuaded and followed, so when they get to learn the basic knowledge in relation to their liquid waste and how to properly manage it, it will be easier for the leader of the community to strive for the betterment and strive for the beauty of the city. For the old, we can create a campaign that involves transferring knowledge or transferring speech as well as assign the tasks for them, and it can be based on age groups as well. At the end of the delivered session during the campaign, incentives will be delivered to the elders. It can be consist of a tote bag, a reusable water bottle, and a kroma khmer as a symbolic culture of Cambodian people. Coming to the next solution, which is introduce eco products to the public. There are some several products that we would like to introduce to the public. One of which is reusable water bottles. Reusable water bottles create less or almost no waste. It can be made of glass, steel, or aluminum. Second, house cleaners. Natural elements like vinegar, baking powder, some types of oils can be used for cleaning houses. The house cleaners available on market consists of lots of chemicals which can contaminate the water when they are no longer used or when we throw it away into the water. The third product that we are likely to introduce to the public, which is tote bags. These inexpensive product comes in handy when you go shopping. So it is not surprising tote bags are replacing plastic bags. And we are likely to offer our targeted people tote bags made from recycled plastic and eco-friendly materials. These tote bags are highly recommended as it can conserve our environment as well as conserve the pure water in our society. The fourth product is reusable containers for foods and drinks. Reusable bottles, travel mugs, lunch boxes, collapsible coffee cups became common but are still in demand. They replace disposable bottles, cups, and food containers. Coming to the last products, which is eco-friendly toothbrushes. You probably remember that it is best to change toothbrushes every 3 months, which means more non-recyclable waste. You can actually sell better products. There are toothbrushes made of wood, bamboo, or biodegradable material. It is great to care about the environment while caring about your health, isn't it? So we are going to sell these eco-friendly toothbrushes as well as introduce to the public as it can conserve our environment as well as conserve our water in our society. Or coming to clean oil products collected and reused or sold. It is basically also a part of introduce eco products to the public, which falls into category of reusable container for foods and drinks. But I just want to add extra information on this. Oil bottles contain lots of chemicals that can pollute the water. So if you have leftover bottles in your house, in your kitchen, you should consider washing it step by step with cautious behavior, or call the authority or any firms nearby your town that are willing to collect these types of bottles to transform them for further usage. It is highly recommended to do so, as a matter of fact that it could pollute many our ocean, our water, since it's contained a lot of chemicals in that oily products. And those oily products can be seen in the picture shown below. The left picture contain palm oil, and the right side contain oil in general. Yes. Working on this project with my teammates, we have found out some key challenges that could irritate our project to not going smoothly. And those challenges can be seen as lack of engagement, capital investment, and skilled personnel. For lack of engagement, we have created surveys to get a deeper understanding in relations to wastewater management in Cambodia. And there were a few people that would likely engage with us in doing the survey. And we also had a little discussion with my teammates, and we decided to seek help from influencers to widespread the awareness as well as help us spread out the surveys. And throughout our discussion, we also found out that our previously made announcement as well as surveys contained lack of information. So we also create a new platform where we can provide more info to our audiences, and we also create interesting themes in order to attract our audiences to engage with us as well. Coming to capital investment, we as university students would not have enough resources to cover up our project, and my teammates and I have been discussing on this related issue, and we thought of asking environmental conservancies, authority, other associated or related organization to fund us, to help us cooperate us within our project, and we look forward to hearing good news in relations to funding as well. Coming to the third key challenge, which is skilled personnel. As we didn't have enough resources, so it is way harder for us to hire professional people to work with us. So we consider seeking volunteers from the active youth instead, and we will work together to bring prosperity to our country's growth. Coming to specific strategy for accomplishing the proposed alternative solutions. Here there are several key people, key organizations that are in charge with us as well in order to make a project happen. First and foremost is government. We would love to seek new platforms, new ideas from Ministry of Environment, our authorities, in building efficient wastewater treatment, because since it is the only since it is one of the most effective solutions to make our wastewater to become pure water once again. And we also would love to hear some strict regulations in law in order to label to make our people and community to obey and to conserve our environment, also to conserve our water at the same time. Coming to the second key people or key organization, which is environmental conservancies. They are they are the voice of us, they are the voice for us. They can be raising awareness to the public, to those really don't care about the environment. They are the voice to those that cannot conserve the environment themselves. So we would love to cooperate with them in order to make our project happen and to go smoothly as well. And the third and most effective way or alternative way to make our country or city to become beautiful is people. So we would love to work with different people coming from different backgrounds to conserve the environment as well as conserve our water. So the first thing we need to do is to training. We like to create a training session. It can be physical or online training, and then they seek and then ask for um, like entrance to participate in our events to make it happen and to raise awareness through those events as well. And we also would love to raise some regulations and rule that we have cooperated, have been talking with the authority and spread those regulations and rule to those people as well, and then they will spread those awareness to other people, including their families as well, family and friends as well. So here comes the end. Here comes to the end of my presentation. We are sincerely grateful for you all for keep tuning, listening, and showing interest on our project. And for further inquiries or any questions, feel free to ask us. And we hope to make this project happen anytime soon in the future. Thank you.